Why yes, I'm still riding the summoner hype train, and no, I'm definitely not exalting the summoner right now. You did not see anything. See? Nothing. I don't know what you could possibly... In my previous video, I did specify that I'll be making another video on the sprite mace, however that can wait. We have another major issue to discuss. What the hell is this thing? At the time of making this video, the only possible way of obtaining this mace is through completing the 2021 Easter campaign. It is a UT mace which spawns funky looking ninja bunnies which do an absurd amount of damage, with the drawback of it having a 2.6 second charge time. I'm actually going to start with the damage capabilities this time. The base's damage ranges from 300 to 350, meaning the average damage would be 325. The shot count of the mace is 5, multiplying 325 by 5 would be 1625. The incubation mace shoots in 2 bursts of 4, meaning there are 8 rounds of 5 shots, doing a total of 1625 damage. So let's get this straight. On a 0 defense target, one of the summons, keep in mind you can spawn 3, can do a grand total of 13,000 damage. This is actually where I'm kind of glad that some enemies have frequent invulnerability frames, because if not, this mace could do more than 39,000 damage if the target's armor broken. Don't get me started if the enemy's cursed. Back to what I said previously though, the drawback for this ability is that it has a charge time which is present at both the beginning of the ability's cast and after the first round of shots, which is of course the first 4 shots. The mace has a lifetime of 9.2 seconds, and judging the fact that it takes 2.6 seconds to charge, think of it like this: 2.6 seconds to charge, 2 seconds of shooting, then 2.6 seconds to charge again, and then another 2 seconds of shooting. So having that timing going on with 3 summons can be a little finicky at times, because sometimes it gets difficult to monitor when one of your summons is about to expire, meaning sometimes you'll just be reshuffling summons that are sometimes in the middle of shooting, which is slowly just wilting away your DPS because of the charge duration. As well as the absurd damage output, the incubation mace also grants both offensive and defensive stats, which solidifies it as a great all-rounder. The footage you're currently seeing is of my PvE summoner for the ongoing content PvE summoner competition. So what I'm wearing isn't ideally what I would be wearing with this mace. Typically, instead of wearing a vesture of duality, I'd probably swap it out for a diplomatic robe, because like previously stated, I don't want to be respawning summons which I don't need just so I can keep the vesture passive up. Another thing that could realistically be seen as a downside, that unlike most maces currently in the game, though it boasts a higher range than the tiered maces, the shots do not hit multiple targets, meaning that on bosses such as Oryx the Mad God 2 and Chief Beza, it may be a bit trickier to land your shots if the bosses are surrounded by its respective minions. I've spoken a bit about the downsides, a bit about the upsides, now I'm going to talk about my experience with the item personally. Ever since I started using it, the only time I've been seeing myself taking it off is when I'm swapping to the Mace of the Depths for a consistent slow and I'm clearing dungeons such as the Nest. Because without a slow, those red bees really can give you a run for your money. Though saying that, with the intense raw power of the incubation mace itself, gives players more of an incentive to switch things up when it comes to summons. If you think 3 rabbits is a bit overkill and you feel like a slow would be massively beneficial to the efficiency and or quality of your dungeon, nothing is stopping you from spawning 2 rabbits and a spider to make up for the deficit. And that's something I really like about the summoner. It's capable of doing so much with the right equipment rather than the bog standard damage increase with classes such as the wizard. Do I think the item is overtuned? Yes. Do I think the item needs to be nerfed? No. The item has very clear drawbacks and has rightfully claimed its position as the best in slot, as well as the Grandmaster's Mace and Hivemind Mace. I speculate that this item will return. I very much hope it does, because Deca for sure is not the company to release best in slot items on a seasonal basis. Right? In conclusion, I like this mace a lot. Of course, nothing will top my love for the previously talked about sprite mace, but it's very effective for pretty much everything in the game. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.